Hello everybody and welcome back to Valdis story. As always, I'm DW. Last time we went through the monocrystal mines, and this time around we are going to go through the Ziggurat to get the last piece of the divine key that we need. And we're also going to pick up a nifty new soul. But before we do that, I thought we'd go back to our base, because we haven't been there in a while. And there's some rather nifty things I'd like to upgrade, mainly our lightning magic. So here we are, back in the library. I don't remember if we talked to everybody here, so we might as well do that. We did get some new books of or tomes of the ancients, or whatever they're called, so we might as well go give those to Vladin. So this one is all about the Goeb Nui, which of course, or Goeb Niu, however it's pronounced, which of course are about Wyatt's ancestors. Apparently they had rather strict gender roles, with the women being warriors and the men being craftsmen. So that's kind of interesting, I suppose. We have one last one. This one is all about how Valdis decided to leave the world to her two daughters when she discovered the Goeb Nui or Goeb Niu, I don't know why I keep saying it like that. And apparently the three quote-unquote realms lived in balance for about 200 or so years before, well, we know what happened. Now, we've got some new skill points and some new stat points. Why don't we upgrade our character? I think we'll put another point into luck, because you can never have too much luck. And for skills, now, we could go with Warlord, which is all the way down at the bottom of the warrior tree. And we will probably eventually get that, but for now I think we're actually going to go with Iron Will, because we do want to go down this side path of Guardian. Now we'll visit Duboisk here, or Duboisk, upgrade our lightning magic. We unfortunately are just 2 souls short to get it maxed out, so we'll have to come back. But fortunately, due to editing, it'll be fine. Let's go visit some of our new crewmates. First up, we have Ben. He will teach us a really interesting focus finisher, which we will be seeing by the end of the video. You sort of throw a banana, and it deals a ton of damage. It's sort of like this weird distraction. It's pretty cool, but really difficult to use. Fortunately, the boss of the Ziggurat is pretty susceptible to it. Sir Pancakes here will give us a Fate Roulette focus finisher, which is pretty cool. Basically, it'll go through various things. Like right now, we have higher item find, so it's pretty useful if you're looking for very specific items. As far as I don't think there are any like negative things it could land on, but maybe. I don't remember. Cynthia here will sell us new accessories. The Priest Tome is kind of interesting, since we will be focusing on light magic. I might pick it up, but not right now. Now we could go visit Damon up here, but I don't think we can get anything from him. No, just short of some polished stones. So unfortunate. Alright. So, we're gonna get lightning up to level 3, due to the wonders of video editing. Alright, so now that we are done with all that, we are going to go to the Ziggurat, which is not too far off from where we started the game. And of course there's some treasure and other things along the way. We could have came at this from the Western Skyway, but we will be visiting that on our return trip instead. So the first new thing that we can access is behind this wall. It is the Millery, which features Leroy, who is apparently a French hat maker of sorts. She will give us random hats for a price. I'll talk about hats in a bit. Before that, we are going to buy some pretty flowers for 1 ancient coin. That's the only ancient coin that we have right now, but it's okay, because we'll get more. So the random hat we got was the Captain's Tricorn. What this hat does is, well, all hats have random effects, and this hat in particular halves the reset time of your assists, or the cooldown of your assists. It's not super useful like some of the other hats do like other things, like they'll increase the rewards you get from boss battles, or just increase your attack speed. I think there's one other one that I don't know. So this is not the best hat that we could have gotten, but it'll have its uses. Now you can see the fully upgraded lightning in action. Not only does it deal a lot more damage, but it also goes full screen. We'll actually be able to kill most of these low-level enemies in a single hit. Now over here, this is where we got our first skills cancel, you'll find Shanufi? I think that's how you pronounce that, or I don't know. Shanafi? I don't know. Whatever. She is an interesting crew member, as she is both a store and a like a focus finisher. She we'll see her later on. Anyway, I forgot to mention about hats. You can lose your hat by getting hit, and the lower the luck, the higher chance you have to lose your hat each time you get hit. So that's to keep in mind. Don't worry, I will put a big notice for when we actually lose our hat, because it will be in this video. So the upgrade we got gives us mana every time we successfully guard. So let's illustrate it again. These guys will be cooperative. There we go. So it's not much, but any amount is appreciated. Especially since I will start using mana much more often to grab guys and pull them close to me. Behind this wall, we have a bizarre effect. I'm not entirely sure why that effect happened, but whatever. Behind this wall, we will find another nifty item. Find some bones. It looks like a smith used to live here. But we'll find the gray metal plate. That's yet another item in the gray metal set, which will be used to make some nifty armor eventually. I think the only one we don't have is the gloves. Now, if you didn't come back through here earlier, you could have gotten Axon, the armor that was over there. But fortunately, since I did some backtracking earlier, and we did not have to get all that stuff right now. Now, the Ziggurat is just at the top of this room. But before we go there, there is one more thing I want to show. Using a little too much mana. Up over this way, there is a secret. Here we'll find the mercenary. Now, if we had 3 ancient coins, we could hire the mercenary, and he is a fairly powerful assist character, but unfortunately we do not. Now, welcome to the Ziggurat. Let's have a cutscene. So it looks like Greno and Folin have been held up in this tower the entire time we've been out exploring. It also appears that Wyatt is stuck running against the wall, which is wonderful. Now, if we were to actually go all the way back to our base and talk to Greno, she would give us a really powerful focus finisher, but I'm not going to do that because we have the banana. So the Ziggurat itself introduces a new damage type that I don't think we've really encountered before, and that is void damage. So that's pretty much its main gimmick. It's also fairly short. It's not a long area at all. It's mostly focused on combat arenas, but we'll be avoiding combat when we can. Mainly because we want to keep that sweet hat. Ooh, that was very close. In this room, we're introduced to a new enemy type that we've been seeing their attacks, but haven't seen them just yet. They're just like the other variation of those types of enemies, just they deal void magic and have and summon 4 skeletons instead of 2. This room is a total pain in the ass if you try to fight everything in it. Generally, I would suggest doing what I do, which is just getting up to the mana crystal. Of course, I'm having apparently a lot of trouble doing that, but just getting up to the mana crystal and activating it, then running for the door. There's no reason to really sit around and fight at all these enemies unless you want the experience. Now this room has some new armor which we will probably equip once we upgrade it. Of course, it's at the top of where this mana crystal activates. I don't know why I had so much trouble getting through here. It's just could not quite get the timing down. Of course, you can't go up this little shaft. There we go. So here we have the Dead Man's Fury, which is an interesting armor. It basically will add a fury mechanic similar to that of other, action RPGs. Also add life leech and fire damage to your critical attacks, or when you're at max fury. So that's pretty cool. We'll probably upgrade it all the way and then equip it. Although it does give us intelligence when I thought it would give us luck. Down here we have another treasure chest we can't quite get to. Wow, way to go, Dave. This room a lot of people hate because of this enemy. It fortunately has been toned down a lot in the recent additions to the game. There used to be a lot more holes, and it was a lot easier to get knocked back down into the room lower, the bottom, underneath. But yeah, those enemies are very uncommon. I think there's there's less than 5 in the entire game, I think. Oh, grabbed the wrong guy. Might notice the upper path. We of course can't access it just yet. There is the final crewmate, which is a rather odd assist character that we'll probably never use. So let's go fight a boss. The boss of this area is Greno, which is Wyatt's main rival. And if you're playing as somebody other than Wyatt, he'll actually be in this room and he'll join you for the fight. So that's pretty cool. The fight itself is, I'm going to say fairly easy, especially if you like to parry. I actually do very well in this fight, and we won't be seeing all of Greno's moves. Yeah. Apparently, through this conversation, Wyatt has determined that his father is alive because Greno, or however his name is pronounced, is not bragging about killing him. So, Axon really helps out a lot in this fight because you can get around his blocks. And, we lost a hat. Oh well. Here's the fun of the banana. It also gets through his shield, which is nice. See, we're pretty much destroying this guy. You can counter just about all of his moves, so it's very good to have parry. We actually won't even see his ultimate move when his bar fills up. Well, we'll see it, but we won't see the effect. So here he does this weird black hole thing that I believe just summons a blade and does other things, or summons a beam. But we won't have to worry about that, because we got all S ranks. And that's rad. Now, Greno has to have his little death speech where he's like, "Oh, Wyatt, you're so much like me. You like to kill, blah, blah, blah." Whatever. So now we have the Soul of the Void. Let's equip all the powers. So the down attack spawns these 3 orbs that will home in on guys, and it's pretty cool. I like it. The up attack adds, it's kind of hard to explain. We'll be seeing it later on in this video. But it sort of adds additional attacks to you. It doesn't function like the fire or ice spell. The air one is completely useless. It fires a very low damaging homing laser that hits one enemy, and that's it. So the side attack is the one that we really want. It can teleport you to places. Basically, you shoot it out and then press the button again to teleport to the orb. So that's pretty rad. Now let's level up. Might as well get another point in luck. Yes, another point in luck. There we go. For our new skills, we are going to pick up Null Shield, which will absorb one enemy spell and convert it to mana. So now you see we have this big pink bubble around us. You might have seen the archer enemies have that around them. It's the same thing. So continuing onward, we can now get this final crew member. There's the down attack. Kind of forgot that I have all the void magic equipped. See, the air attack is not very good. Alright, apparently we took her out through bleeding. Get up there. There you go. So here we have Chan Lap Kin. He's a panda with a big cannon on his back. And that's pretty much the extent of that character. So going down through the Ziggurat is not nearly as challenging as going up through it. We can avoid a lot of things, and we can take a bunch of shortcuts. But we still have to get that one treasure chest that we could not get before, so we are going to have to fight this guy. Now that wave attack can knock you into those holes, so you do have to be very careful. And I forgot to mention, but usually void damage will sort of like knock you, it'll sort of stun you for a bit. I'm sure you probably have noticed that. There is some armor that you can wear that will cancel that out, just like the paladin armor does with ice. So we got some more Tahamagani, and I think that's almost all the treasure chests. We just have to get the one at the beginning. So let's skip through these rooms. Take these platforms down. And there we have it. We're done with the Ziggurat. And we got a new spell lantern, so that's nice. Now there's not much on the way back, but there is another way that we can go. We could go right back to Pegrum, but we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to go through the Western Skyway, because there's some items that we can now access through there. We're also going to switch back to our Rage Slam. Oh, it doesn't really matter. Now you might notice that I still have the anti-venom potion. Hey, we got a level up, isn't that great? First, let's get some more luck. Now for skills, we're gonna go with Warlord. I just have to take a little while to consider all of our options. We're at level 19, so we don't really have access to too many skill points. But yeah, so I still have my anti-venom potion. Still got 12 minutes left on it. That's going to really help us out because there is a new boss in the Central Skyway. Before we fight that new boss though, there's also a wall that we can punch. Who doesn't like to punch walls? Behind it is some more Tahamagane, so that's always nice. That'll be very helpful later on. Now, things have changed in the Western Skyway since completing the Engineer's Palace. Now, angels are fighting ferals. And we are going to encounter our first endgame optional boss. This is probably the easiest of all the optional bosses, or at least of all the endgame optional bosses. But is no joke. So, the Mana War's main gimmick is that she will change elements. So there she was poison, and now she's lightning. She kind of has a fairly predictable pattern. Unfortunately, does not deal contact damage with you, so you can hit her. Now there I've activated our Warp Blade, so do pay attention to what it does. The ice form is probably the worst, since it'll freeze us. The Warp Blade will occasionally set out little, like, spectral blades that will deal additional damage. This is actually the worst form, the second poison form. Basically, if you attack her though, it will cancel it. So you do want to try to attack her as soon as you can, because otherwise you're going to, probably die because those lasers do a ton of damage. And here I am just messing up, trying to hit her with my focus finisher, but I have no idea. Oh, also at some point, poison mist will start to rise, so that's fun. It's really good to have that anti-venom potion for this fight. But we've almost got the Mana War down. Unfortunately, you can't hit her with Axon. A lot of the other assists have a hard time hitting this boss. But Man of War will go down soon enough. And there we have it. Got an A rank, which is not bad. Not bad at all. +2 intelligence. I guess that's alright. But more importantly, we have the Arch-Feral Spirit. There are only 3 of these in the entire game, so they are very rare, and they're all used to craft the same item. Maybe we'll get it. Who knows? There's nothing else of interest left in the Western Skyways, as far as I'm aware. So we might as well continue onward to Isk. Oh, well, goodbye, Angel Sapphire. So let's see what Sezi has to say about, or at least now that we have the 2 items we need to make the Divine Key. So it turns out that Sezi had the Divine Key in his pocket all along. Oh, isn't he so crafty? Quite literally, because he's a blacksmith, but yeah. So getting through the Sanctuary is the end game. That is where the final boss is, and it's the final area of the game. We'll be not seeing that next episode, but the episode after that, likely. There's one more area that I want to go before we end this episode. We are actually going to go all the way through the Guardian Temple again, because there are some new goodies that we can get now that we have both the Demon Key and the Void Owl. I don't know why I'm fighting these guys. I could have literally just ran through the demon door here. I forgot that you could go through the bottom door and it'll take you to the exact same place. You don't actually have to go through the top door. Yeah. So you're gonna see me flail about here for a bit. I guess I could have edited it out, but oh well. So in this room we have a couple of treasure chests. Down over here we have some silken cloth, which isn't super great because it's an item that we can drop. But more importantly, over on this side we have yet another Tahamagane. Getting quite a bit of those this episode, huh? Those of course are used to make the high level weapons and armor, so do want that. Now I mess up a bunch here in this little minor encounter and can take way too much damage, but... And then I do a brilliant thing of fall off. But reason I left it in is because we get a nice rare drop here, an ancient coin. Since that our luck is now over 5, enemies will start to drop ancient coins, and they will increase their drop chance the higher luck that we have. So I think we have our luck at 11 or 12, so they're gonna have maybe about a 10% chance to drop ancient coins or something like that. We'll be getting a few of them throughout this, throughout the rest of this Guardian Temple bit. It also illustrates how much the sort of fire-resistant potion really helped out in this area. Because, Look how much damage that we took from that. Now there's no new boss or anything in this area. There's just a treasure chest that's in the boss room that we can't get without having the void power. And there's this new mana gate here. I don't think it... I'm not sure if it's added after you recruit, was it Rize? Or if they added it in like a patch or something? I don't know. I literally do not know. So we'll get all of our health back at this save point. Rush ourselves through this room. So here we can get that new chest, which will have some very situational armor. For this build we have for Wyatt, it's not going to be great, but for some builds I had for Vladin, it was fantastic. Unfortunately, I think they nerfed it in a recent patch, because here it's listed as level 1, but I'm pretty sure it was level 3. Anyway, it adds luck and agility, and drastically increases your critical chance. And will continue to increase your critical chance as you do critical damage. Or increase your critical damage as you do critical attacks. So it's pretty crazy, because you can actually get your critical chance over 100% with Vlad, which hopefully we will see in the future. I don't know, maybe they've changed that. Hey, another ancient coin! And somehow we got hit by that explosion. So now we have 2 ancient coins, and those are just from drops. We only picked up 1 in a chest, so there are still 2 out there for us to find. Forget where they are. More importantly, this was the chest that we could not have gotten before, or at least not gotten easily, and it is just a health charm. Nothing too major, but it's nice to have more health. Now, there's one last thing I want to show off, and that is, if you go back to Tegrum after completing the Ziggurat, but you did not visit the village elder earlier, then you'll come back to an empty town with some new unique music. And there is absolutely nobody here. And that, it removes all the shops. Anything that you can, purchase or find in Tegrum is gone, except for the treasure chests, if you haven't picked them up. Now, this isn't too bad, since there's not really, the shops in Tegrum aren't really that great, except for the guy who can give you respecs. But the most interesting thing about this is if we go back to the Elder's Room. We'll encounter Adelaine's brother, just like we did normally, but the scene is quite different. And it's very peculiar. So the results are the same. Adelaine will kill her brother. But the dialogue is quite different. So yeah, I've been DW, and thank you for watching. Oh, I guess I should show off that, yes, the respect guy is also gone. So yeah, he's gone. Alright, thanks, bye.